Right, thank you very much for turning up at my seminar. I'm going to look at a bit of architectural films and we'll go into ins and outs. But if you guys are explaining things to your clients and you're selling these films to your customers and you are doing a presentation, make sure you do get your contact details at the beginning, at the end, just so people can kind of remember it. Right, Jack, this is what we're going to cover. Roughly, and I think from what I know of the people in the room and a couple of people I don't know just yet, there are experienced installers, there are people that I think will be looking at something a bit more in depth than the introduction that I was going to do. So I'll whiz through that. We'll go for some Q&A at the end if anyone wants to, but the way I look at it, this is for you. This is not for me to present, this is for you guys. So any questions, please ask them. I'm always happy to help. And essentially that is what we are here to do with the architectural films, here to help. So we're going to go through where they're working, what you should be aiming at to get a good return for your business and a good return for your customer. You know, you've got to keep your customer satisfied, where to get your next opportunity and how to keep it. Those are things I'd like to kind of introduce, but there's also other things that people get stuck with. One of them is how to sell the product and the costs involved, which if you want to, I can spend extra time going through. Right, so essentially, when you are talking to your customer, you've got to introduce it quickly. You've got to introduce it so they understand it. A lot of people do not make the same associations that professionals in the industry do. They do not know what vinyl wrapping is. A quick 30-second video illustrating what you can do is exactly what you need. Jack? So it covers your prime, your prep, and because you're going at speed, you can capture people's attention span, which is ridiculously low nowadays. "30 seconds, that's all you need." That's Kane from FlowWrap. He's in there if you want to go and speak to him about it. That's actually the speed that he did it at. But just that sort of thing just gets your kind of, yeah, so why are things working at the moment? Why are we seeing a big upturn in vinyl resurfacing? There are 5 main reasons. We've got lots of reasons why it is working. We've for years we've going like, this is why, this is why, this is why. But the 5 main ones that I see and the feedback that we get from customers, these are your 5 points you need to be pushing. Budgets are tight. As we all know, everyone seems to be worse off nowadays. And so people are looking to refurbish, push the budget side of it. Does not mean cheap. That is the biggest mistake that people can make. Oh, it's budget friendly. Yes. Is it cheap? No. Why is it not cheap? Because you've got to do your proper prep. We'll go through that. Okay, but budget aside, that's why people want it. People are actually wanting to reuse. The more that we talk to kind of designers, to architects, but actually to facilities managers, to people who own these buildings, they want to reuse it. They don't want the hassle of ripping out and replacing. And so that is your second kind of biggest one. They want to reuse. People want to do the right thing. And one of the things that people get stuck on is, oh, it's a plastic. Well, it is a plastic, but you are going to save tons of waste from your ripping out and replacing. That is something that you need to get that across to someone. The average kind of weight of a material is roughly kind of between 100 and 200 grams a square meter. It's nothing. Absolutely bugger all. Yes, it is a plastic, but nowadays, as you can see, we'll go to the end of it, you can now repurpose that plastic. And what I would encourage you to do is if you're going into commercial fit out, is to start looking at how you can repurpose that material. It will get you good points. In fact, the last contractor I spoke to said that 25% of the contract awarding kind of criteria was based on recycling, reusing, repurposing. So they were being awarded contracts based on how they can demonstrate that they are doing this. Okay, versatility, 1,500 patterns we got on the shelf. I don't know any manufacturer of any solid surface that can do 1,500 patterns. There's actually nearly 2,500, but we can't stock them all. We do have the largest stock this side of Italy, I think. Not bad. And if you get a chance to go up to the warehouse, go and have a look at how we organise it. It is amazing. So those people who ring up and give us orders, thank you very much, but we are then turning them around, getting them off the shelf, cut and packaged and boxed and sent out the door within about 45 minutes. It's not too shabby. Downtime, that's the other one that you are winning at in terms of refreshing. Because people cannot close, you do need to push this. If you're doing domestics, you do need to push this. You are not having any rip out and replace, and you can still use your kitchen. My brother is having a full rip out and replace. He is down 4 months from a kitchen. 4 months. He's having building work put on it. He's at the end of his tether, genuinely. Well, look, my brother is the sort of person where you say, oh look, the sky's blue. He goes, no, it's not. It's more of an off kind of grey. Yeah. He knows his mind, but he's actually having an extension done, so he's going to rip out and replace. But I'm not. I'm having my kitchen rewrapped. I'm having my bathrooms rewrapped. I use it in my house. I know what it's worth.
Do you know anyone good who's going to do it?
No, there's a dodgy guy down in London, you know. Quality of workmanship is absolutely key to success. And actually, joking there with Rich, but quality is what is making this worthwhile. We are seeing more and more quality fitters as they train, understand, learn. We still learn every day. I still speak to people and I learn off them, they learn off me. It is about upskilling, and the quality will carry it forward. One bad install undoes the work of 10 good installs. But because we are still seeing growth on growth on growth on growth, there is good workmanship out there, and you have to push this. That is what you need to push to get to be successful, your quality. Have something up your sleeve, have something on the camera where you can demonstrate this. Okay, so those are your 5 ones there. So these are kind of some areas that we are seeing success in. Media walls, okay? So yes, this is constructed and built by gypsum. You can apply it to this, that's fine. 3D, MDF manufacture, you can do that. But what people do is they make this and they go, that's lovely, and then I'll wrap it. Right, this is the stage that I'm trying to get across to people. Wrapping it and building it to the start and the end. In the middle, that is where the work is at. I'll come to, I spoke to Steph Kyle earlier about a project I'm going to display up here, and I'll just ask you how long they prepped it for. Okay, so these areas here are just 5 different areas where you are going to need to prep. And this is just the start. This is one area. You've got a source of heat. This is going to be a fire. You need to prime. It's going to be edges. You need to prime. You need to prep. Joints where you are having kind of things butt joined. You need to prime and prep. You need to fill with a non-porous filler. You need to any kind of different surface. This is a matte paint. You need to prime over that. You need to prep it. Perhaps you need to sand it. There are lots of things you need to do to get it looking beautiful. We can help you on the course. We can help you on the phone. That is not a problem. But we cannot help you if you go in and assume it's fine. That is where you're going to fall down. And every time you fall down, it sets you back a bit. Learn from us. If it can be messed up, we've messed it up. We've got the training room. The first thing they tell us not to do is stick it on outside. Quick, like outside. There's a piece outside that's been outside for 5 years on a recess because they said we couldn't do it. So the March before lockdown, that's what we did. We stuck it on the outside of the wall. Have a look at it, it's still there, really good. There are things where they say don't put the flat MT on the tables. That's what we've done, but we know why not. Because the dirt that it holds is not ideal. Put it on a vertical, beautiful for 12 years. Put it on a horizontal where you've got coffee spilling on in it and ladies with a lovely fake tan that rub themselves on the edge of the desk. You've got 2 orange circles on some of those desks. Delightful. But how are you going to know that unless you mess it up? We've messed it up. We've experimented. We've broken it. You learn from us, please. Okay, so you can achieve beautiful things as long as you're prepping it properly. So the golden rule is proper prep prevents poor performance. I left things out. You can imagine other words in there. Lifts, this is another key area simply because of the weight. As I said, 100 to 200 grams a square meter. Lifts do not need to be realigned if you are wrapping them. If you add kilograms of weight to a lift, you need a lift engineer to realign it. Okay, so this is an ideal situation. However, if you are working on lifts, make sure you liaise with the company who is owning the building, because you've got to get lift engineers to shut off the lift. Makes it very difficult if it's going up and down with you in it. I did see that actually happen one time early on in the day. There was someone trying to hold the door and wrap it as it was closing. Luckily, they weren't from this company, but or associated with the company, but I did see it. It made me laugh. That is a real win. So if you can target this, again, if you want advice, please ask. Always happy to help. These panels. So if you see panels, that is an ideal situation for you. They are simple. Right? They are an ideal situation simply because they are generally slightly narrower than the material. So you get very little waste, very simple shapes, but you cannot do these kind of shapes without, in a non-vinyl, without it being incredibly expensive. So any kind of curved panels, perfect. Any flat panels, bathrooms, that sort of thing. This is where you get good turnaround because the materials can go on quickly, reliably, with primers, of course, but you get good return for your money and your customer gets a good finish, an excellent finish for their money as well. Okay, so panels, pounds. Panels and pounds, that's the way I look at it. This is a job that's been completed recently, and I really, really enjoyed kind of just seeing the feedback of this one here. So as we said, we did proper prep work on this one here. This was the initial kind of environment that was built, and then they decided, yeah, we'll wrap that. So instead of building it with the advice of the wrapper, which would be beautiful, but no one does that anymore. They go, yeah, there. Okay, so we build it, right, let's get it wrapped. And then you've got to turn it from that into that. So, as I said, this takes proper prep. How long did that take? 2 people, was it? Or 3 people?
2 people.
2 people. 2 people, there you go. 2 people, 2 days. 2 people, 2 days. But, was it worthwhile?
Yes, we got more work off the back of it.
But what did they say at the beginning? What was the first feedback from the architect?
They was going to make it out of aluminium. Because of budgets, he wasn't able to. So the building contractor decided to build it in that. Then they was going to paint it, but they wasn't happy with the finish, paint and leave. So we got approached to wrap it.
But they didn't believe that the wrap would be any good.
There was doubts.
There was doubts. Okay. Now that's the biggest thing that we're going to have. That you're going to have doubts from people. So I'm going to come across what you have with you to overcome doubts. But that is quite a common thing. And then once you've squashed those doubts, once you've kind of gone ahead and done it properly, you sunk time and effort into 2-part primers, so they're not porous. This is not just normal wood filler. This is 2-part primer, car body filler that will not change shape. It doesn't have to be car body primer as long as it is a filler that does not change shape. If you put in polyfiller and flatten that off, especially MDF, you will have water seeping, vapors, kind of humidity seeping through the material. It will expand it, and you'll start to get kind of little pushes out, little kind of ridges where you put joins and fillers in. So if you have 2-part primer, 2-part body filler, then it will not expand over time. Okay, so yeah, 2 days. So I just go back to Jack. 2 days, and you kind of get this finish here. Now you can see where the light is. A single color or a metallic will show any imperfections. You need to do it well to give your client the best results, and it will come out better than paint. It will come out looking beautiful if you put that in. But how many times have you got the client going, well, how much is it going to be? Every time. How much is it going to be? If you can't tell them that between them building it and then paying you for the finish, if you can't tell them how long it's going to take and why it is going to take that long, you will not get that job. If they don't want to listen, sod 'em. There's only so much you can do with your life, but you need to be able to convey that to them properly. And if you have these sort of photos in your phones at hand, then you can say, look, this is why we do it, and this is how we do it, and this is the result we get. Once you've got that job under your belt, it's really good. Just use these as kind of things to reel off. So thank you very much. Right, kitchens. Any installer worth their salt started in kitchens. It's just the way it goes. We didn't think kitchens were going to be a massive thing, but they are kind of people's bread and butters now.
COVID came to us, didn't it, the market? A lot of people spending a lot of time at home on a new kitchen, but on a budget.
Yeah.
And following it just.
And we never thought it would be the way to go, but a ridiculous amount of people who are skilled, who are good at what they do, cut their teeth on kitchens. Kitchens are an absolute must in today's environment. Now, if you are working on worktops as well as doors, the worktops are where you're going to get 90% of your gripes, because people go, oh, that's stone, I'll treat it like stone. No, it does not happen like that. So if you are still getting into it, I would insist that you go, right, no, look, I'll do doors only, carcasses. Those are much more successful because they are verticals. We'll go back into that. But if you're not sure, stay away from the worktops, because there are rules for horizontals. But people go, oh, I don't want to get involved in domestic. It's too much. You've got people looking over your shoulder. It's not quite right for me. But the biggest commercial fit-outs that we've seen, that we've helped with, have been multiple kitchens. Be it students, be it banks, be it back house of multinational kind of corporations, kitchens, staff kitchens. That is where you will see a lot of wins. Okay? Do you like that one, Rich? Yep, good. Doors. Fire doors seem to be on social media. There are a lot of rules. And this one here, you need to make a note of. This one here is for decorative laminates on the doors. This is from the BS, the British Standards standardization. Decorative laminates to veneers up to 1.5 mil thick can be used on the face and the reverse, not on the sides. If you have a fire door, you cannot wrap the sides. This is not a fire door. We're okay. But if you have a look at that fire door over there that's being opened, that is white down the side. No one notices. No one notices. It's grey on both sides, except down the side it is white. No one notices. But your customer will go, I don't like it. I want the sides wrapped as well. Say no. Say no. They don't wrap it. And if they say, oh yeah, but I want the doors to look nice, take them to their fire door in their own property and open it and go, it's not the same. It will not be the same. But they don't notice. So, fronts, backs, that is the reason, because you've got all sorts of hidden systems in here. You've got, there can be a furry caterpillar, as Alison calls it, the smoke seal. You cannot touch that unless you are Fire S rated. Don't rip it out and replace it. If their maintenance guy wants to offer to do it, say no problem. Get it in writing. Okay? Always consult the building control. Make sure they are happy that you can wrap that door, because that door has also got to be fit for purpose. It is a decoration on these doors. It has to be fit for purpose, and it has to be approved to be signed off by them. Okay? It is their building, they get the say. But that is a regulation that a lot of people do consult. But it's up to them to make that decision. All right? So yes, when to use it, perfect for verticals. If you do hit those horizontals, you've got to realise that this is not a stone, it is not a real wood. And even then, if you do have real woods, you've put a coffee cup on that, it will stain. People assume that because it is plastic, it will not stain. There is very good stain resistance against red wine, tea, coffee, crayon, all that sort of stuff. There's lots of documentation about it. But if you don't treat it properly, then people get upset. You need to explain to them how it's going to behave. You need to look after it as you look after a normal work surface. Don't cut on it. Don't put giant hot pans straight out of the oven directly on top. All of them will take like boiling water, that sort of temperature. But if you're getting stuff out of the ovens, that sort of thing, and you're putting 150 degrees on it, you are going to make it kind of gloss out. You can get some very tough horizontal surfaces. Coverstyle and Dynoc both do a very abrasion resistant surface that is designed for horizontals. No floors, because you haven't got an anti-slip rating. If you do get asked to do that, and I know some people have been asked to do that in a bathroom, get it in writing. You need an anti-slip rating ideally. And if they are going to insist, say, look, have it in writing. And that's the same on every job. If your customer changes their mind on an evening or an afternoon and say, oh, can you just do this door as well? Oh, I've got a frame. Can you just add this as well? No problem. No problem. Get it in writing. Confirmed that day on the email. Just checking, because people's memories are not as good as they think they are. Any rough, uneven surfaces, yes, you can do walls and you can do lots of kind of different things, but breeze blocks, brickwork, not designed for the architectural vinyls. And again, it's, yes, where we're talking about versatility and less downtime and disruption. Okay. I'm quite conscious about time, Jack. What are we on? 11:15. Okay. So, do you have existing customers? Because they are exactly who you start on. If you do not have existing customers, you have existing family and friends. Start with them. Once you kind of have them, have the experience, you start to kind of build yourself up. But a lot of people have existing customers. If you're a car wrapper, you have customers. If you are a signage guy, you have customers with premises. My sister always used to go in a restaurant. First thing she did, went for a wee. Because when you go to the toilets and you have a look around, if it's mucky and they can't keep their toilets clean, what does that say about their kitchen? And if you want to get people's attention, speak to the manager of the place and just go, your toilet's disgusting. Oh yeah, sorry about that. We're looking to get it fixed. Oh yeah, well, I can do that. You know, yeah, really good at that actually. And then, you know, that is where you win. You've got customers with reception desks. You've got bespoke furniture. And then what do you take with you? And I thought about this. No, don't take anything with you. Keep things with you. Keep it in your van. You know, you don't need too much to kind of really sell it. So yes, you can do swatches, yes, you can do books, but the problem is that if you give somebody a swatch, first thing they do is they start looking through it. Like, oh yeah, oh, you lose them. Okay, so what I would do is I would just talk to them and say, okay, so you want the bathroom doing. In an ideal world, what would you like? You know, what sort of finish? If you had nothing blocking you, what sort of finish would you like? Let them do the creativity. If they've got a kitchen that they're selling to you, don't give them the book. Say, right, okay, what do you want? Have you got anything on Pinterest? Pick yourself out a brilliant kitchen from Pinterest and then show it to me. Oh yeah, okay, I know that green. I can do that green, or I can do that marble. Yeah, how about this? How about if I make that come true for you? Would you like it if I could do that for you in 2 days? Would you like it if I could do that for you in 2 days and you could still use your kitchen? I didn't say anything about the price. Sell the concept, then sell the cost. Talked about selling concepts. Which one's tougher? That one, yeah? Yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. They're the same. Both ARs, both different kind of types of material, but no one chooses this because they want this. They want solid, they want answers. They want answers to questions that haven't cropped up in their mind. You give them that floppy, 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 they're like, yeah, it's rubbish. I like this one. This one seems tougher. I like that one. So have applied products, have applied samples. You don't need to apply 1,500 samples. You can have half a dozen. You two are getting out. I know and the worst thing is I know exactly what they're laughing at as well. Yes. So a little book, a little sample, just to kind of highlight things. Make sure you've got case studies on you. If you don't have case studies, go to our website. There is a case study section. You've got all sorts in there. You've got bathrooms, you've got kitchens, you've got changing rooms, you've got all sorts in there. Just flick it through, just go, look, there you go. Get people's attention, then you can start talking to them. I think, yes, and there's other things about what do we do to help. There's other things we do. We've got an installer network. If you come up and train with us, if you talk to us, if we trust you, if you trust us, we are quite happy to send you how many leads do we get a month? Roughly?
But what, installer samples?
Yeah,
installers maybe.
I'm not going to hold you.
60.
60, yeah, a couple a day. Mainly from cities, but there are bits and pieces. And we do send these out to kind of people and go, right, okay, they talk to us. Yep, okay, no problem. We've seen their work, we know them, we've trained them, we trust them. Okay, how about this one? We send them out. We do brochures, we do unbranded brochures if you wanted to put your own stuff in there. This is a section of the warehouse, it's the main kind of section that you can see, but there is a shed load of stock up there. As I said, 1,500 patterns, and no one else does that. No one ever comes close. This is coming out. This is an AI tool that Coverstar are launching. We are beta testing it at the moment. It is a point and click. Oh, I want this one, and I want it in concrete. Oh, there you go, have it. 2 minutes later, it pops up. Very good for people visualizing because they cannot imagine it in their head. It's quite a skill to imagine what that door looks like or what that looks like in a completely different color, but you can give that to them shortly. They are also working on a tool where you can create a guide of how much meterage you need and the time it takes, a plan. An interactive tool is going to be useful. Well, I'm not sure you can record and put that on YouTube yet. We do sampling, we do testing, we do wrap training, we do meet the buyers. I go and speak to a lot of big buyers, and we have customers who are already selling to these, but I will go and speak to them as well. We've kind of help people. This is all free. All of this is free. None of this is charged for. Okay, so just remember that. If someone goes, oh yeah, I can do it the same as William Smith, I haven't got any stock, but I'll get it for you in 4 days and it'll be 20p cheaper, you know. Seriously, talk to us. Talk to us. There's a lot we're sinking into this. We do design shows. We take it to the architects. We've been doing this for years. We are trying to shout about it on the rooftops as to what can be done. There's a lot we do. And we also do the testing as well. These materials are kind of newer, tougher top coat for the 3M, so I stuck them on the kitchen and gave them a year without any kind of cleaning whatsoever. I then kind of masked it off, cleaned it with elbow grease, and you can see the difference there. People were saying, oh yeah, marble's difficult to clean. With this new top coat, it's actually quite easy to clean. So we do the testing. We do all of these things. We learn from our mistakes, and we help by putting this out there for you guys as well.
Yeah, I just want to drive home the marketing side of it as well, George, if you don't mind. We are really here to support you. So if you, I think I mentioned in some I did before actually, you know, even imagery, if you're struggling for content for your social media, website, things like that, we can help you with that. George has mentioned the unbranded brochures, what can be yours, but we've got imagery, we've even got keywords, we've done keyword research for websites and things like that, so and there's actually a seminar on next on that kind of stuff. Yeah. But we really are here to support, so just use us.
The other thing is that for the right opportunity, I'm happy to come out with you. Next week I'm going to a company that uses us up in Scotland. They are talking to a couple of designers, architects. They want to have someone on site who can answer their questions. I did it a couple of weeks ago for someone down in Kent. For the right opportunity. How much do I cost? Hey, I'm cheap. i.e. free, i.e. part of the service. It is not for Mrs. Biggins and her kitchen. I will not be coming up to see her because you can all do this. However, if you do have the right kind of clientele who want to know more and want to fire those questions and you don't feel comfortable to know, next slide, this sort of knowledge, this sort of crap lives in my head. It absolutely lives in my head. It is ridiculous how I've kind of soaked nonsense up. I've forgotten science now. I've forgotten everything I learned at school, but it's now, my head is now filled with all of this. And if you want someone there who can help you support and fire off lots of different questions and answers with people, give you a little bit of kind of confidence, I'm happy to help. Okay. Anything, that's me done. So is there anything that I brought up that you guys thought I'd like to know more about that? We've got a couple of minutes, and if you don't get the answers you need, I'm here all day. I'm here, well, for probably the rest of my life, you know. Just give us a bell. Any questions at all?
Could I just ask a,
Yes.
might be controversial question, I don't know.
Oh.
Which country are the sheets manufactured in?
So most are manufactured in Asia. They were originally manufactured in the US. Asia have taken them on there. They are making and selling about 20,000 rolls a month there. The production facility is there. There's only limited, because of what you need to make these films, there's only a limited place that you can create these. So the majority is coming from Asia. And so, yes, we can get you certification and that sort of thing. However, it's...
Is it a British company?
William Smith is. William Smith is 7th generation family run.
Yeah.
But we don't have the facility that is needed to make these films en masse. No. No, they do not have a facility to make them here. Okay?
Cool.
Right. Anything else? I know we did talk about kind of objections to cost. I've got loads of different ways of getting around objections to cost. But what you need to do for most people is walk them through that journey from beginning to end. Because most people turn up here and go, yeah, how much is it? They don't understand it. They don't understand the time it takes. They don't understand the mechanics involved. They don't understand enough about it. They don't know. Okay. Any questions, Justin?
Problem is, everyone thinks it's going to be cheap, don't they?
Why did they think it's going to be cheap?
Maybe it's because it's a vinyl. I think that's the reason.
So
they'll in their minds they'll think
it's a vinyl. Yeah, it's a vinyl. So there's different grades of vinyl. DC Fixes.
Cardine and things like that, and there's the cheaper vinyl and stuff like that for your floors. But
Yeah.
getting that across to somebody isn't that simple, especially a domestic.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say is a good way around that is if they are, say, looking at the sample there. So that is what? 2 human hairs thick. There's at least 5 or 6 layers in there. You've got all sorts of technology that's gone involved in this here. And to have something that kind of malleable and thermoformable at that kind of thinness that's going to last is difficult to kind of convey. So, but case studies are where you need to kind of be. If you have a look at kind of case studies, long-lasting things, we've got customers now who have wrapped something in 2017 and saying, right, okay, can I do this now? Can I kind of redo the toilets? Can I do all this sort of stuff? There's lots and lots of places you can see it in action. But you had a job in a tower, in a domestic tower in London. There were lifts wrapped on every single floor. It was about 1,500 metres of material. That was done in 2020. And Rich sent me some photos of it February, I think it was. And they still look pristine. They were really good.
Weather well, especially for indoors, won't it?
Well, yeah, indeed. But it's on lift doors in an apartment that's used every single day. High traffic area. It's, yeah, people assume too much. They turn up at that end point and going, how much? Yeah, I thought it would be less. I've imagined it. I've dreamt this amount, you know. And you have to go, right, okay, look, I'm going to walk you back. This is where the vinyl This is how much the finals are. This is how much work I need to put in. This is how much prep work your area needs. This is how long it lasts. This is your warranty. You know, there are lots of things to get you there, but today's attention spans are very, very small, and a lot of it is driven by price. It is quite a skill to get someone to go back and go, right, okay, I hear you. But when they're objecting about costs, a lot of the time they also have an objection in their head where I don't trust it. A lot of the time is I don't know enough about it. And they say cost, but they don't mean cost. What they mean is I don't think it's worth it. And so you have to go back and address them. So if they do object about cost, go back to them and say, okay, brilliant, thanks for it. What else? Get all of their objections out of them first, and then you know where their mindset is. If it is that they don't understand it, if it is that they don't trust it, look at case studies. Look at kind of, here you go, here's this one I've installed in this year. Or find ways to kind of just convince them that it is doable and show them that it is. But get all of the objections out first, because when they say cost, they often don't mean cost. Okay? Right. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.